3 months. That's how long 12-year-old Marcus Johnson had been saving for that poster. 3 months of mowing lawns in the Chicago summer heat for $5 each. 3 months of saving birthday money instead of buying the baseball glove all his friends had. 3 months of doing extra chores, of skipping movies with friends, of eating packed lunches instead of buying cafeteria food. All for one thing, a signed Muhammad Ali poster that cost $200. When he finally walked into that memorabilia shop on the south side of Chicago in October 1979 with $8.43 in his pocket, everything he'd managed to save, he knew it wasn't enough. He knew it the whole time, but he had to try. He had to at least see it, stand in front of it, imagine what it would be like to own it. When the shop owner told him, "You can't afford this, kid," Marcus wasn't surprised. He was just heartbroken. That's when a man who'd been browsing in the corner walked over and asked, "How much is the poster?" What that man did next, and who that man turned out to be, gave Marcus something more valuable than any poster: the knowledge that heroes are real, that kindness matters, and that sometimes, when you give everything you have toward a dream, the universe gives back in ways you never imagined. Marcus Johnson lived with his mother in a small apartment on the south side of Chicago. His father had left when Marcus was 5, and his mother worked 2 jobs, days as a receptionist, evenings cleaning office buildings. Money was always tight. New clothes came from thrift stores. Extras like toys or sports equipment were impossible. But Marcus had one passion: boxing. He'd started training at the Southside Youth Center when he was 10. The boxing coach, Coach Ray, saw something in Marcus: determination, heart, a refusal to quit. And Marcus had one hero, Muhammad Ali. Not just because Ali was the greatest boxer in the world, but because Ali represented something bigger. Ali had stood up to the government, refused to go to Vietnam, been stripped of his title, and come back to win it again. Ali proved you could be black, be proud, be yourself, and still become the greatest. Marcus watched every Ali fight he could on the television at the youth center. He studied Ali's footwork, his combinations. When he shadowboxed in his bedroom mirror, he imagined he was Ali. In July 1979, Marcus saw the poster in the window of Sam's Sports Memorabilia on 47th Street. It showed Ali after the Rumble in the Jungle in 1974, arms raised in victory over George Foreman, with Ali's signature scrawled across the bottom in thick black marker: Muhammad Ali, the greatest. The price tag said $200. Marcus stood outside that window for 15 minutes the first time he saw it. He knew he couldn't afford $200. His mother made $12,000 a year supporting both of them. $200 might as well have been $2 million, but he couldn't stop thinking about that poster. That night, Marcus made a plan. He would save every penny he could. He'd mow lawns. He'd do extra chores. He'd save his lunch money. Maybe, just maybe, he could do it. Over the next 3 months, Marcus worked harder than he'd ever worked in his life. He went door to door in his neighborhood offering to mow lawns for $5. Some people said yes out of pity, seeing this skinny 12-year-old kid with a worn-out push mower. Some said no, but Marcus kept asking. He mowed Mrs. Henderson's lawn every week. He mowed Mr. Jackson's lawn twice when the grass got high. He mowed the lawn at the youth center for free, but Coach Ray insisted on paying him $3 each time. His mother's birthday was in August. She'd been hoping for a new scarf she'd seen at the department store for $15. Marcus bought her a card instead and put the $15 toward the poster fund. He felt guilty, but his mother smiled and said the card was perfect. When school started in September, all of Marcus's friends bought hot lunch every day for $1.25. Marcus brought peanut butter sandwiches from home and put that $1.25 in his jar. When his friends went to see the Muppet movie on a Friday night for $3, Marcus said he was busy and put $3 more in the jar.
By early October, Marcus had saved $8.43. He counted it every night before bed. $8.43 in coins and wrinkled small bills. It wasn't close to $200. It wasn't even 5% of $200, but it was everything he had. On October 13, 1979, a Saturday morning, Marcus walked into Sam's Sports Memorabilia with his $8.43 in his pocket. The shop owner, Sam Kowalski, was a white man in his 50s who'd run the store for 20 years. He knew sports, knew memorabilia, but he wasn't known for his patience with kids who couldn't afford anything. Marcus went straight to the poster on the back wall. He'd been coming by to look at it through the window for 3 months, but he'd never been inside. Up close, it was even more beautiful. Ali's face, victorious and powerful, that signature, the greatest. Marcus stood there for maybe 5 minutes, just staring, trying to memorize every detail. Maybe if he couldn't own it, he could at least remember it perfectly. "You gonna buy something, kid, or just stand there?" Sam's voice came from behind the counter. Marcus turned. "How much is this poster?" Sam barely looked up from his newspaper. $200, says right on the tag. Marcus pulled out his money. He set it on the counter carefully. 5 $1 bills, 3 quarters, 6 dimes, 1 nickel, and 13 pennies. "I have $8.43. Is that enough?" Sam looked at the money, then at Marcus, then back at the money. He laughed, not a mean laugh, but not a kind one either, more like tired amusement. "Kid, you're not even close. That poster's $200. You got $8. You understand math?" "I've been saving for 3 months," Marcus said, his voice small. "I mowed lawns. I did chores. I don't care what you did," Sam interrupted, not unkindly, but firmly. "The poster costs what it costs. I got bills to pay. You can't afford it. Maybe pick something else. I got some unsigned photos for $5. Marcus felt tears burning in his eyes. He'd known. He'd known the whole time it wasn't enough, but hearing it said out loud made it real, made it final. "I don't want something else," Marcus said quietly. "I want that one." "Well, you can't have it," Sam said, going back to his newspaper. "Sorry, kid, that's life." Marcus stood there for another moment, staring at his $8.43 on the counter, feeling stupid, feeling poor, feeling like all that work, all those sacrifices, all those lawn mowings and skipped lunches had been for nothing. That's when a voice came from the corner of the store near the boxing gloves display. "Excuse me, how much is that poster?" Marcus turned. There was a man standing there who Marcus hadn't noticed when he came in. He was wearing a baseball cap pulled low, sunglasses even though they were indoors, and a simple jacket. He looked like someone trying not to be noticed. "I just told the kid," Sam said, irritated at having to repeat himself. $200. The man walked over to the counter. "I'll take it." Sam looked up, suddenly more interested. "Yeah? You got cash?" "I got cash," he said. He pulled out his wallet and counted out 10 $20 bills. "But I'm not buying it for me. I'm buying it for him." He pointed at Marcus. Marcus stared at him, confused. "What?" Sam stared too. "Sir, you don't have to." "I want to," he said. He looked at Marcus. "What's your name, son?" "Marcus," he managed to say. "Marcus Johnson." "Marcus, you like Muhammad Ali?" "He's my hero," Marcus said. "I box at the youth center. I want to be like him someday." The man smiled slowly. "Then why do you want to be like him?" Marcus thought about it. Because he never gave up. Because he stood up for what was right even when everyone was against him. Because he proved you can come from nothing and still be the greatest. The man nodded slowly. Then he took off his sunglasses. Then he took off his baseball cap. And Marcus's world stopped. It was Muhammad Ali. Marcus's mouth fell open. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't think. Muhammad Ali, his hero, his inspiration, the reason he got up every morning and worked hard and believed he could be something, was standing 3 feet away from him.
"Oh my God," Marcus whispered. Sam nearly fell off his stool. "Champ! I'm sorry, I didn't recognize." Ali ignored Sam and focused on Marcus. "I heard what you said. You've been saving for 3 months? Marcus nodded, unable to speak. How much you got there? Allie pointed at the $8.43 on the counter. $8.43, Marcus said, his voice shaking. That's a lot of money for a 12-year-old kid, Allie said. That's 3 months of hard work, 3 months of sacrifice. That shows dedication. That shows heart. You know what that tells me? Marcus shook his head. That tells me you're already thinking like a champion, Allie said. Champions don't give up. Champions work hard even when the odds are against them. Champions save their lunch money and mow lawns and do whatever it takes to chase their dreams. You're already doing that. Tears were streaming down Marcus's face now. You're really Muhammad Ali? I really am, Allie said with that famous smile. And I want you to have that poster. But I want you to have more than that. Allie turned to Sam. How much for that poster? $200, Sam said, suddenly respectful, suddenly eager to please. I'm buying it for Marcus here, but I'm also signing a new one for him. You got a blank poster? Sam scrambled. Yes, champ, yes, I have several. Get 3. I'm signing one for Marcus, one for the shop owner here to make up for any trouble, and one for myself because I like the picture. Sam practically ran to the back room and returned with 3 unsigned versions of the same Rumble in the Jungle poster. Allie pulled out a black marker, he carried one with him, people asked for autographs everywhere he went, and signed all 3 posters right there on the counter. For Sam's poster, he wrote, "To Sam, float like a butterfly, Muhammad Ali." For his own poster, he just signed his name with a little drawing of a butterfly. For Marcus's poster, he wrote something that Marcus would treasure for the rest of his life. To Marcus Johnson, you already got the heart of a champion. Keep chasing your dreams. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Allie handed Marcus both posters, the one from the wall and the freshly signed one. 2 for the price of none, Allie said. Consider it an investment. Someday when you're champion, I'm going to tell people I met you when you were 12 years old with $8.43 and a dream. Marcus was crying so hard he could barely see. Thank you so much. Allie knelt down to Marcus's eye level. You know what I want you to do with that $8.43? Marcus shook his head. I want you to keep it, don't spend it, put it somewhere safe. And every time you look at it, I want you to remember that you worked hard for 3 months for something you believed in. That's worth more than money. That's character. That's discipline. That's what makes champions. Then Allie pulled Marcus into a hug. This skinny 12-year-old kid from the south side of Chicago was being hugged by Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer in the world, his hero. When Allie finally left the shop 20 minutes later, after taking photos with Sam, signing a few more items, and talking to Marcus about boxing and life and never giving up, Marcus stood there holding 2 posters and still crying.
Sam looked at Marcus and said something he'd never said to any customer in 20 years. Kid, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I made you feel like you didn't matter because you didn't have enough money. You taught me something today. You and the champ both. Marcus went home and hung both posters in his bedroom. The original $200 poster went on one wall. The personalized poster from Ali went on the other, where he could see it every morning when he woke up. He kept the $8.43 in a jar on his dresser, just like Ali told him. Every time he looked at it, he remembered that a hero isn't just someone you watch on TV. Sometimes a hero shows up exactly when you need them and teaches you that kindness matters, that hard work matters, and that dreams are worth chasing even when they seem impossible. Marcus Johnson never became heavyweight champion of the world, but he did keep boxing. He fought in Golden Gloves tournaments. He went to college on a partial scholarship. He became a youth boxing coach himself, working with kids on the South Side, just like Coach Ray had worked with him. And when kids came to his gym feeling like they didn't matter because they didn't have the right equipment or the right background or enough money, Marcus would tell them the story
the story of how he saved for 3 months, the story of how Muhammad Ali bought him a poster, the story of how $8.43 taught him more about life than any amount of money ever could. If this story of dreams and kindness moved you, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded that heroes are real and that hard work is never wasted. Have you ever had someone show up for you when you needed them most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to ring that notification bell for more incredible true stories about the moments when giving back means everything.